You're watching Pyro Power
Feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready.
Hello, Pyro Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
If you understood your value, you would probably be quicker to walk away from bullshit. Like for me at this point in my life, I'm not spinning the block on bullshit.
You better say that.
You just can't keep spinning the block on bullshit. You really can't.
What is going on, Pyromaniacs? We are back with another episode of Pyro Power Hour. We are here, and some of us are queer. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. What is going on, y'all? What is going on, Michaela? Thank you for joining on in. Dr. Ho is in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Yes, amen. Amen. When you realize who you are, you don't spin the block. You don't. You don't have time. You don't have time. You got things to do. Okay? So stay focused. Stay ready. And stay blessed, okay? All right, y'all, so do me a quick favor. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and do so as well. And subscribe if you're watching on the replay and or if you are new to the community. We appreciate you for all that you do. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into some things here. We got a lot to talk about on today. So let's get with the program, shall we? First and foremost, we want to welcome you guys on to today's show. It is our Friday show, so TGIF to all of you kings, queens, and everybody in between on out there. Dr. Holt said, what did he say? When you know your name, you don't need to. I know that's right. When you know your name, you do not have to spin the block. You really don't. Come on, you see all those letters? You don't have to spin the block. You see all those letters behind Dr. Holt's name? That's an educated black man right there. Anywho, shout out to Dr. Ho. Also, shout out to Cupcake, who is not here yet. I wonder what's going on with her. I'll text her in a minute. But shout out to all of the mods, and thank you for all that you do for keeping the streets safe here. We appreciate you and all that you do. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking about good old Kamala Harris, that queen, that AKA queen over there. We want to let them know what's going on with this black queen right here. We're going to be having a conversation about her. We also are going to touch on Diddy. Now, I was supposed to do a live yesterday in Patreon. A lot was going on yesterday, so I will explain in Patreon next week. There's just a lot going on. So I will make sure that we get that in there. We're going to call it the Diddy File, so stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to have a conversation about Nene leaks, amongst other things. We got a lot to talk about. And that girl, Amber Rose. Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation. But before we begin, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys know that today is Friday. So if you had a tough week, if you had a stressful week on this week rather, go ahead and give yourself a hug because you made it. That's right, you made it on through the week. You did it. Friday. Today is Friday. We are done. Thank you. Shout out. And if you are feeling so inclined on this morning, go ahead and send a little blessing over to Pyro Media. If you're liking what this platform does, whether it be this show or any of the other shows on Pyro Media, go ahead and bless Pyro Media Network by hitting $ Pyro Media. If you're feeling so inclined to bless me, you can go ahead and hit me up at Kwame C86. That's Kwame C86 right there on Cash App as well. So thank you guys. For those who blessed me this week, I appreciate you guys as well. Those who are watching the replay, thank you. You're much appreciated. If you're not following Pyro Media on all the social media platforms, go ahead and do so by following at Pyro Media Network. That's it. TikTok, Facebook, Christian Mingle, everywhere. Follow us. We appreciate you. Also, check out the hotspot. It's only $5 a month. That is where we have all of our exclusive content, behind the scenes stuff, everywhere. A lot of data. What's going on, Kevin? Thank you for joining. God bless you and good grand rising to you, sir. Yes. Hit that hotspot up, because we're going to be starting up the kickback next week. We're going to be listening to music, all that stuff, jamming, having a good old time. The kickback is supposed to be laid back, and it's a great way to kind of kick off the week, especially if you had a horrible Monday and you're going into Tuesday. Tuesday is my worst day. It's a lot going on. I got meetings, all that stuff. Tuesdays is my busiest day. So a lot of people hate Mondays, but Tuesday is my day. So I want to make sure we close it out with a bang. And if you are if you've loved Pyro Cocktail, you never know who's going to show up on there. So definitely head it up. That's going to start up next Thursday. Both of these shows are going to be starting up next week in there. What's going on, Keith? How you doing, handsome? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Y'all, do me a favor while you guys are taking your seats and while you guys are having a good old time. Make sure that you guys are hitting up that like button, whether you're watching it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you for all that you do. All right, y'all. We got a lot to talk about on today, but we're going to hit some breaking news real quick. And let's get on into it, shall we? All right. All right, y'all. We got some breaking news. First up, we have a Kentucky sheriff who has been arrested in a fatal shooting of a district judge inside a courthouse. Take a look at this mess. This is crazy.
Now to an alarming shooting inside a Kentucky courthouse. The Letcher County Courthouse is closed today as investigators try to get to the bottom of a shooting that left a veteran district judge dead.
The accused gunman, a sheriff, is behind bars and has been charged with murder. The shots rang out just before 3 p.m.
Letcher County Courthouse, that shots fired.
Police say the sheriff of rural Letcher County, Kentucky, shot District Judge Kevin Mullins after an argument inside the county courthouse.
Emergency services responded to the area and located District Judge Kevin Mullins with several gunshot wounds.
Attempts to save the 54-year-old judge were unsuccessful. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
We know that it was an argument between the two that led up, but what exactly transpired prior to the shots being fired, still things that we're trying to get answers to.
Police say the 43-year-old sheriff, Sean Steins, was taken into custody without incident.
This community is small in nature, and we're all shook.
It's the third high-profile murder of a judge in recent years. Last October, a Maryland man shot and killed the judge shortly after the judge ruled against him in a divorce case. Back in June of 2022, a former Wisconsin judge was killed in what authorities called a targeted attack. And in 2020, the son of a U.S. district judge in New Jersey was killed by a gunman who was targeting the judge at her home. The U.S. Marshals Service says serious threats to federal judges have more than doubled in the last 3 years, part of what officials say is a growing wave of politically driven violence. As for the suspect in Kentucky, he has been charged with first-degree murder. The police say the judge was shot several times. No word yet on what the alleged argument was about. Investigators say that suspect is cooperating.
Oh, sorry guys, I was on mute. So I don't know what's been going on with a lot of these situations that are going on with these like political violence that's going on here. It's getting crazy. It's getting concerning. And I just don't know what's up with that. But we're going to keep an eye out on what's going on with this particular case. This is just one of many situations that's going on So just keep your eyes out, stay protected, especially when you guys go to vote. Make sure that you guys are in a space where you guys are protecting yourself. I would recommend that you do mail-in ballots. Also, check on your voter registration if you haven't done so already. You can go to vote.org. I just double-checked yesterday. So it's really simple. It's really easy. Or you can go to your local state secretary or secretary of state. But vote.org makes it a lot easier. So you can just find your state and they'll help you navigate from there. So that would be personal. Yeah, listen. It sounded personal, but I think it's also politically motivated. I don't know what's going on. But speaking of politics, the House of Representatives unanimously voted today to pass a bill bolstering Secret Service protection for major presidential and vice presidential candidates. So a move that comes in a wake of two apparent unaliving attempts targeting GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump. The vote was 405-0. So that was a unanimous decision, which is very rare at this point. But the bill directs the Secret Service director to apply uniform standards for protection of presidents, vice presidents, and major presidential and vice presidential candidates. So this is, I'm glad that they did this. I think this is kind of important. I think they should do something like this. This is something that, is a concern. I've told you guys before that I don't think that any type of political violence is okay for on any side or any situation. So we'll see how it all goes. We'll see how they navigate it. But hey, at least the Congress is doing something. Anywho, next up, we also have an update across the seas. Israeli military carries out an airstrike in Beirut, after Hezbollah fired rockets into Israel. So this is getting even more intense. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if it's going to escalate or if the United States can actually step in and intervene and kind of say, you know what, can we chill? Let's not make this bigger than what it is, than it already is. But we'll see how it goes. Dr. Holt said, and he going to Springfield and had the nerve to say he hoped he... Listen, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But Dr. O, to your point, he's also saying how JD Vance, which we'll get into in a little bit, was also talking about how it was Kamala's rhetoric that was causing all of these political violence issues or whatever. But you're not talking about January 6th. You're not talking about what she said about Ohio. Nothing, right? Okay. Anywho. This is what's going on in Israel. Let's take a look and find out what's happening over there. This is what we got on the latest.
Hi, I'm Diamond Sato. Today on ABC News Live. First, we have breaking news. Israel's carrying out the most intense airstrikes in Lebanon since the conflict started on October 7th. One of those airstrikes targeted a suburb in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Lebanon's health ministry says the strike killed 3 people and injured 17 others. The IDF says it's hit hundreds of Hezbollah launch sites there since yesterday. And this comes as Hezbollah vows to keep up daily strikes across the border in Israel, now saying at least 37 people were killed in the massive attack involving exploding communication devices. ABC foreign correspondent Marcus Moore has the latest from Beirut.
Hi, Diane. It has been an active day here in Beirut and across Lebanon. We have been following reports of another strike in Beirut in the southern suburb of Dahiyah. This is the Hezbollah stronghold. And we've seen pictures showing the damage, heavily damaged buildings, smoke billowing into the air, and really chaos on the ground. This happening earlier today, and we're still waiting to get information on what was targeted there and exactly how this strike was carried out. But it comes as we have watched and seen the fighting intensify, particularly along Lebanon's southern border with Israel. In fact, the IDF said that more than 120 rockets were fired from Lebanon towards northern Israel just this morning. And the activity, the back and forth that we have seen is really marked one of the most active days we've seen in this war since it began. And right now, we are waiting to see exactly how this develops and what impact it will have on the overall conflict that we've watched unfold here. And the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, gave a speech yesterday where he referenced the simultaneous explosions of pagers and also handheld radios. He described them as acts of war. and he said that there will be a response for that. But right now, we're watching and waiting to see exactly what that response will be. He did acknowledge that the explosions dealt a major blow to Hezbollah, but that they would persevere and that they will continue to support the people of Gaza as long as that bombardment continues. They will carry on with their attacks. And in fact, on Thursday, they claimed at least 20 attacks, Diane, which would mark one of the busiest days that we've seen this war since it began.
This is literally like getting nuts, y'all. And I really pray that we get into a space where we can actually calm everything down there, because I think it's going to. I hope it doesn't, but I feel like it's going to exacerbate. And so I pray that we can kind of step in and intervene and not make it bigger than what it already is. And I have my own personal opinions about the situation, but we'll save that for Patreon, okay? Because you're not going to label me anti-Semitic or anti-Semitic or anything like that. It's just my opinion. I don't think that I don't think anybody should be in a war situation or war or feel that they have to be in a war type zone. So that's what I'm going to leave it at that. All right. So that's going to do it for the breaking news on today, y'all. If there's anything else that pops up, of course, we'll talk about it throughout the hour. All right. Just a quick reminder, if you have not done so already, go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you're watching now or on the replay. So thank you guys so much. And subscribe if you haven't done so. You can do so by you can either follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, wherever you're watching this, on Twitch, wherever. But if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It does help the algorithm. We do appreciate it. Also, like I said before, hit that cash app at Pyro Media, $ Pyro Media. And if you're feeling me and what I've got to say, go ahead and hit me up at Kwame C86. That's Kwame C86. All right, y'all, it's time to find out what's happening today. So y'all know we have all types of days and trending stuff or whatever. So let's go ahead and talk about what's happening on today. It's National Queso Day. National Queso Day. Almost any cheese lover will tell you that the world got a little better the day that chili con queso dip got invented. Chili con queso, or queso for short, is a delicious cheese dip that finds a home in a great deal of Tex-Mex cooking. So queso originates from Chihuahua, a state located in the north of Mexico. There's a good chance you won't find a whole lot of the kind of queso dip that we know and love offered up at restaurants in Mexico, but restaurants all throughout the U.S. serve up this delectable vat of cheesy goodness. So, yes, you can say that, Kevin, because it's your opinion and you have every right to say what you want to say. Praise Jesus. But we'll talk about that in Patreon. So, yes. Now, fortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, but I am plant-based, so I don't eat cheese anymore or any type of dairy products. So I used to love queso and all types of cheese, but, we're trying to be healthy and live long, okay? Hence why you see a lot of weight loss under here, okay? The muscles are muscling, you know what I'm saying? Praise God. All right, a bowl of constipation and baby diarrhea. Of that. Anyway, we got some birthday shout outs, y'all. Y'all know we are still in Virgo season. So shout out to all the Virgos, my earth sign brethren and sistren and siblings. Shout out to y'all. First up, we have Debbie Morgan, born September 20th, 1954, in North Carolina. Deborah Ann Morgan is an American film and television actress. She played the role of Angie Baxter Hubbard on the ABC soap opera All My Children, for which she was the first African-American to win the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 1989. She is also known for her roles as the Seer in the 4th and 5th seasons of Charmed. In film, she received critical acclaim for her performance as Moselle Bastide de la Cruz in Eve's Bayou in 1997. So shout out to the one and only, the legend that is Debbie Morgan. Cupcake is busy. Baby Cupcake is running for Homecoming King, y'all. And Send him positive vibes. Oh, thanks, Dr. Ho. Yes. Shout out to Baby Cupcake. He is running for homecoming king. We love him. And if we can vote, we would make sure that you would be that homecoming king, but it is just for the high schoolers. So, but shout out to him. Happy birthday to all. Yes. I forgot all about Debbie Morgan. Right? I forgot about Debbie Morgan too. But shout out to her. I appreciate I didn't know that she was the first Black actress to win an Emmy Award. So shout out to her for that and creating Black history. All right, now we got some honorable mentions. I'm going to make this quick because we don't got time. Shout out to The Dream. Happy birthday to you, sir. All right. Okay, moving on. Y'all know who The Dream is. If you don't know who he is, he's an American singer, songwriter, and record producer. Okay? All right, moving on. Aldous Hodge. Happy birthday to Aldous Hodge. This man is so fine. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, he was born September 20th, 1982 in North Carolina as well. Aldous Alexander Basil Hodge is an American actor best known for his portrayal of Alec Hardison on the TNT series Leverage. MC Ren in the 2015 biopic Straight Outta Compton. Levy Jackson in the 2016 film Hidden Figures. And as Noah in the WGN American series Underground. So shout out to him. Happy birthday to you, you handsome, sexy king. All right. We do have to let people know about, speaking of Aldous Hodge being in Hidden Figures, we have to let you guys know about a queen that was no longer here. Happy heavenly birthday goes to Dorothy Vaughan. Born September 20th, 1910 in Kansas City, Missouri. November 10th, 2008, she transitioned in Hampton, Virginia. And Dorothy Johnson Vaughan was an American mathematician and human computer who worked for the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, aka NACA, and NASA at Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia. In 1949, she became acting supervisor of the West Area Computers, the first African-American woman to supervise a group of staff at the center. She later was promoted officially to the position. During her 28-year career, Vaughan prepared for the introduction of machine computers in the early 1960s by teaching herself and her staff the programming language of Fortran. She later headed the programming section of the Analysis and Computation Division, ACD, at Langley. Vaughan is one of the women featured in the Margot Lee Shetterly's History Hidden Figures, the story of the African-American woman who helped win the space race in 2016 was the movie when it came out. It was later adapted as a biographical film of the same name, also released in 2016. In 2019, Vaughan was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously. So, shout out to her and all that she does. I need him to talk about... What? You know what? He's talking about Aldous Hodge. I need him to talk about something. What do you need him to talk about, Keys? He needs to stop by my office. Y'all are a mess. We're talking about Black history right here. Anyway, shout out to everybody that was born on today, on September 20th. Shout out to you guys and all that you do. Let's get into a quick Baywatch real quick. Now, I personally don't give a damn about him, but I do think that he's funny. Y'all know who Joe Budden is. This is his new girlfriend, Sade Monique. Anyway, they've been real canoodly on social media lately. Okay, let's take a look.
That's what I'm crying about. The way I feel.
So congratulations, you guys. I'm glad you guys are having a wonderful time together. Let's move on. But that's it. You know what? I'm just going to leave that there. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to let you guys do what you do. Joe Budden, Jodisha, But I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, girl. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get into the bends and trends, y'all. The bends and trends. What's up, Simeon? What's going on? I hope she knows how to bob it with girl. Simeon, I can't deal with you. Anyway, let's get into the bends and trends, y'all. The bends and trends. This is what's currently trending right now. What's going on? Right, Josephine. Y'all, Elon Musk, y'all. So apparently the FBI, I'm going to touch on this really lightly because I really don't give a damn about him. Apparently, the FBI and the Secret Service or whoever, the powers that be, are investigating him because his little quote unquote joke that he had about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, or excuse me, Biden, President Joe Biden. See, y'all think it's okay for y'all to say whatever you want. Like it's wrong for people to have political violence and quote unquote rhetoric towards y'all's former president, but it's okay to make threats and jokes and insinuations and infer about y'all's future president and current president. Okay. All right. I just, it's a white man's world. It's a white man's world. All right. Speaking of white man's world, so Justin Timberlake, why everybody else gets their information released? If somebody cracked and exposed themselves and did public exposure, there would be body cam footage that would be released, right? But apparently, the body cam footage that was held out after he got his little $500 fee and bail and stuff like that, or excuse me, that he got released and he had to pay a $500 ticket and do community service. The body cam footage of the arrest has been sealed, so nobody can see it. Interesting. Anywho, I don't know. I really think that he gets away with murder. I mean, unaliving, in my personal opinion. I think that it just shows that this is a good old boys club type situation. It just shows that we're constantly having to deal with the constant BS of things that are not fair. So, but it's the United States. So what do I do? I still adjusting it. Okay, that's fine. I wouldn't, but that's cool. I never was really into Justin Timberlake. I was more into JC when I was an NSYNC fan. But he had a cute little couple of bops when he was with Timberland. But cry me a river. So let's move on. Nene Leakes. So I actually sympathize with Nene Leakes. She's trending right now because she was asked a question when she went live. Was it when she went live or when she went? This she was live, but she asked a question, or she was asked a question rather about if she still misses Greg, and I sympathize with her because you don't. There are loved ones that you have that may have been gone too soon, or just leave your life, and you don't realize how influential they are in your life until they're gone. It's almost like you don't miss the water until the well runs dry kind of situation. So I get that to a point. You know what I'm saying? It's I know that she's still grieving. I know that she's still, and grief is something that's more of a lifetime. You don't ever really get over. I hate using the word get over, but you don't ever really get over the situation. You just heal better. You heal and you learn to cope better. So, but take a look at what she said.
Somebody said, I know you miss Greg. You guys have no idea. I miss Greg so much. There's this old saying that you never miss a good thing until it's gone. That shit is for real. I didn't even have the time to realize how valuable Greg was to my life or to us until he was gone, because it's so many times when I want to be oh, Greg would like that. Oh, Greg, and then I have to remind myself that Greg is not here. But no, I miss Greg a lot, so much. It makes no sense. I really miss him. He was great. He did so much to propel my career and to support me. And he was just like, it's hard for anybody to walk in his shoes. Like, he's like, Greg is like that guy. Like, really, I was lucky and blessed by God to have such a great husband for so many years. And I'm not saying.
So, you know, I sympathize and empathize with her, you know, when you look back and you have those memories. But one of the blessings, if you ever see this, you know, I'm sure you probably won't. But if you ever see this, we're praying for you. We understand, like, you know, I understand what you're going through, and to a point, you know, everybody has their own journeys and their own individual journeys. But, you know, we're praying for you, and it's an individual journey. It's a slow journey. It's a lifetime. It's a journey of a lifetime. But I'm glad that you're doing well. You're better, and you're coping. It looks like you're coping well. So I know it's hard to kind of do things in the public eye. So I don't envy that. And so God bless you, and continue to blow up and do what you're going to do. And I'm sure there's more of you that we're going to get ready to see. So I'm sorry, Clue. Kevin, make sure you hit the live button, because we're on Nene Leaks right now. Somebody let Kevin know to hit the live button. I'm extremely close to both sets of my grandparents, and they have been gone for many years, and I still have those moments. Yeah, and you're gonna have those moments, Dr. Holt. It's gonna be something that it's not something you get over. And I hate when people say, "Oh, I'll get over it eventually." You're never gonna get over that. You're never gonna get over a loved one passing, especially if it's before their time. Whatever that time is, of course, God calls you when he sees fit, but before you feel like you're ready, you know, and I don't think really anybody's really ready for death. And so, yeah, I don't know, but like I said, we're praying for you, Nene. We wish you the best and all that. Listen, y'all, I don't know what to say about Diddy. I mean, I know what to say, but I can't say it publicly here, so you have to wait until Patreon. But what, you know, I'm just here to report the news. So so apparently he's on Uicide watch, and I have to say Uicide because we're on public platforms, and we don't want to mess up the algorithm. So he's on Uicide watch right now. So I don't know, some people are saying that this is something that this is his just desserts. I don't wish anybody to ever feel like they don't want to be here. I don't care if it's the worst person in the world. I don't want them to never to feel like they don't want to be here on this earth, because I've been there. I know what that feels like, and that's not a good feeling. It's a very dark and treacherous space, and it's a devil's playground, if you will. But I also feel like you reap what you sow, and a lot of people never thought that this was going to be a day that it happens. A lot of people see people continue to glow up and have like money and all that stuff, but eventually things come to a head. All of that energy that you put out, all of that, the horrible things that you do comes back to you eventually. And so, you know, enjoy the ride. And Diddy enjoyed the ride as much as he could. He enjoyed all of the money that he was getting. And now he's going to lose it all. Because eventually it gets back to you. It comes directly to you. Everyone has to pay that ticket. But yes, but going back to Diddy, we knew Diddy was a freak. It's not even about him being a freak, because I feel like there's lots of freak. Hold on, let me see what over on Instagram. What's up? Is he doesn't that he wants to be here, or does he not want to fully face the reality of his long years of this year? Yeah, so I don't know, Tasha. I don't know. Shout out to Tasha Champion. If you are not, well, it's already sold out, so you're screwed. So, but you can try out for next year. If you are not going to the women's brunch, the phenomenal women's brunch on tomorrow, it's going to be a fantastic event. I've been going every single year, and hopefully I'll be able to go tomorrow. There's a lot going on, and hopefully I'll be able to go tomorrow. But shout out to her. But Tasha had asked a really good question. Is it that you are feeling like you want to leave this earth, or not fully face what you've done? I don't know. That's a good question. The law of reciprocity. Yes, Kevin. That's a word. It's the law of reciprocity. What you put out, that energy that you put out, it's going to eventually come back to you. And it doesn't matter. There's no favoritisms. Like, It's just how the laws of the world work. It's not just the world, the universe. And it's biblical. So deal with it. Now he's going to take that. That is the only comment I have for this topic. Diddy girl, you did some. You know, I just. This is all I have to say about him.
Diddy, he done. Diddy, he done. Cause that is. Hey. Cause that is on his ass.
Diddy, done. Ooh! I died. Okay, let me see. Tasha said being a freak and being a forceful, violent person is two different things. I know that's right, Tasha. I know that's right. Being a freak and being a horrible essayer, because you know we can't say that on here. And graper, there's two different things, okay? Everybody got a little freak in them. Okay? I'm a little freaky. We all got a little freak. But there's a difference between being a freak and being a monster. Okay? So Diddy's gonna have to deal with it. But again, Diddy done. You know? A freak is one thing, but great. That's what I'm saying. Simeon says there's no escape clause for you reap what you sow. Exactly. You reap what you sow. And we're gonna see how that pans out for you, okay? Seriously though, it's me. It's so to me. It's sad. It's super sad. It's not okay. What he did to Cassie, what he did to all of those women, and all of those men, and all of those people that are alleging that he, and all those who have still are afraid to come out and say anything. Because I know a couple of them, but that's here nor there. Kim Porter transcript. Listen. That's the one of the comment. Let me be quiet because you know we're gonna be quiet. I was typing fast, and I know what you meant. We know what you meant. Let's move on. Y'all's future president, current Madam Vice President, Kamala Harris. I really think that you guys don't understand how real and down to earth she is, and why she's such a breath of fresh air in this political climate. For me. Take a look at this interview that she had with Oprah on last night. Take a look.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that. But my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
No, you should have said that, Kamala. You should have said that. Because I think that there's a rhetoric, and first of all, congratulations on you being real with that, because there's a lot of people who are liberal, who are on the left, who are progressive, and Democrats who are gun owners. Okay? And so it's not about us taking away that rhetoric that's going on with the right, about taking away your weapons, your pow-pows. Okay, I forgot I can't say the GUN on here. But there's a lot more. It's not even about that. It's about, you can have, in my opinion, you should be able to have items to be able to protect yourself and your household, but I don't think you need semi-automatic weapons. I don't think you need military-grade weapons. I just don't. That's my personal opinion. And not only that, if you want to be, if that is a point of contention and you still want that, okay, fine. What's wrong with background checks? What's wrong with having common sense weapons laws to protect people from just walking into a store, a weapon shop, and getting a pow-pow just easily? What about psych evals? What about making sure that if they have a criminal record that they should not be able to get it? What about, and on top of that, what about making sure that if they're on a list, you know, where they've made threats, where they've just common sense weapons laws. I don't think that's too hard. Because I don't want you taking away my stuff. I Kamala doesn't want her people taking away her stuff. Have your weapons. Do what you want to do. But let's make it to a point where people who are responsible weapons owners are able to achieve to get that status without having to worry about cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people coming in and harming our children. That's all I'm saying. Come to my house if you want. Hello. I know that's right, Kamala. Don't tell her where it is, girl. Hilarious. Simi and Tan, nothing wrong with waiting periods, background checks, and a class or two. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. Moderation is the key, I think. I agree, Kevin. Oprah was stressed, wasn't she? The 47th president of the United States of America, Sora, HBCU sister, Kamala Harris. Yes! Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Y'all are hilarious. All right. So that's going to do it for the beds and trends, y'all. When we come back, we're going to take a quick commercial break and pay some bills real quick. And when we come back, I want to make sure that we are talking about some things and going into the rundown. All right, so stay tuned, stay blessed. We got a lot to talk about. There's a topic that I want to discuss that has been kind of, in my opinion, becoming like almost an epidemic. Or is it? We'll be right here. Right here, keep it locked on Pyro Power Hour.
Elevate your entertainment with Watch Vim. Discover the ultimate online streaming destination. Get an auto-renewing monthly subscription for unlimited content on all devices. Join us in supporting a Black-owned streaming platform that brings top-tier entertainment. Let the streaming excitement begin at Watch Vim, your seamless experience for endless entertainment. Stream online or download the Watch Vim app now.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
And we're Black, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, do me a quick favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, and it does let people know that we're loud, live, and in color. So thank you guys so much for tuning on in to that. Hit that like button as well, okay? Right on now. And just take a moment. Just take a moment to do so, if you can do so right now, if you haven't done so already. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and do it right now. It's your reminder. It's your time. All right. Also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and send a couple of ducats, if you will, over to Pyro Media. You can send that via Cash App, $ Pyro Media. Thank you so much for those that have donated already, as well as those who will be donating throughout the week. We appreciate you. Also, if you would like to donate to me, I appreciate you as well. You can send a love offering to Kwame C86. That's KWA, M as in Mikey as in Echo, C as in Charlie, 86. Thank you so much. God bless you. We appreciate you. All right, y'all, let's get into the rundown. We have a lot a lot to talk about. Let's get into some things here. But first, before I get into the rundown, y'all, I have a question for the people. I have a question for the people. This question is, now, we all know, well, first of all, the question is it confidence or thirst trapping? Now, I know a lot of people, like, for example, like me, I get jokes with some of my friends that, when I put something on TikTok or I post a selfie or, a full body image or whatever, because I'm losing weight, I'm thinning out, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm eating more healthier, I'm feeling good about myself or whatever, but I'm not doing it because I'm trying to please other people. I'm doing it because I'm proud of my accomplishments. The pandemic really took me out, okay? I was dancing 6 to 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying, and working out 6 to 7 days a week, you know what I'm saying, and so when that stopped, I gained a lot of weight, and so I know a lot of people, and also as you get older, it becomes harder for you. Like, I'm not the same. It was way harder. I was like, when I was in Seattle, I think that was probably my most fit. It was that, and also when I was in the military, was my times when I was most fit. But yeah, so like it's harder as you get older. You start seeing, more. It becomes a little harder. It's not as easy as it used to be. Where you can just kind of do stuff in 30 days and you drop the weight. But Method Man has been kind of like looked at as a sex symbol for the past couple of years because of how he went from this like super skinny guy and then also kind of having like this sort of kind of dad bod for a little bit, and now he's like ripped, okay, and he's super handsome. But a lot of people would say like, why are you thirst trapping? Like, how are you gonna sit there and say you don't like the attention or whatever? But he was on the Tamron Hall show, and this is what he said. Take a look.
Here. So, how do you reconcile? How do you reconcile not wanting to be lusted over, but keep opening your shirt?
Well, this is the thing.
Okay, what's the line?
This is the thing. Now that I got it, I'm going to show it off, but it's not for that. I mean, right. I'm going to show it off while I still got it. But here's the thing, right? I love the admiration.
Yeah.
I love it. Does it get awkward at times? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to blend in with everybody else, and I'm that type of person.
You never
everything.
So, so to me, is it thirst trapping or is he building his confidence? I think that it should be okay for him to go in and do what he get a mom. Yes, age will do it to you. Yeah, and you have to do more. I really want to be healthy in my life, right? And so I'm looking at just older people in my that I've seen that have been in my life that passed, and it's because they don't take care of themselves and they think that they're going to be a certain thing forever, and you're not. Like, you can't bounce back all the time like you used to. One of my really, really close friends, she is a gorgeous queen. Like, she works out 2 to 3 times a week, has a phenomenal physique, but it takes work for her to do that, right? So she has to work out, and I see, she also told me, she's like, Kwame, I don't bounce back like I used to, and that's, and of course I mean she has a beautiful physique, so it's not even I feel like she's everybody has their own body issues or whatever, but she's just beautiful, and I think I aspire to be like her as she continues, as I continue to see her get older, and she says I want to see myself at 50, 60 years old, still working out, still in my right, mind, and still physically fit, and still able to do the things that I'm doing now, if not better. And so, yeah, so I just think that it's important to kind of, can y'all focus? Can y'all focus? Let me change the chat. Okay, I'm gonna change the screen and take them off the screen. Y'all can't even handle it. All right, you've got to work harder at it. You do, but at least you're doing something towards it, right? And so, shout out to my big brother, who constantly is pushing himself to continue to work out. He works out dang on you every day. He's in UFC training and or what is it, mixed martial arts or whatever. And he is super fit, and much older than I am. Much much, much older. I love you, big bro. I'm just kidding. But he's much, much older. Like old. I'm kidding. I love you, big bro. But anyway, but he still looks good. Like he's doing his thing and he's like physically strong. So I think it's dope. And I think we should all, not look at everything as a they're too busy drooling over that. I know, right? Oh my God. Anywho, that was the question of there. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's thirst trapping when people are showing themselves proud, and they're posting themselves? And put it in the comments if you're watching the replay. Put it in the comments now. Love you guys. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about this, Heffa. So, as you guys know, in the midst of the outcry against the baseless allegations of like JD Vance and like Trump about Springfield, Ohio, and about just the racist, baseless allegations about Haitians eating pets, and just weird stuff that's just weird. Amber Rose, in an interview with TMZ, expressed her agreement with the controversial topic, which I just think it's weird. Like, I didn't even want to even post it. I was going to show you guys the video of it, but I don't want to show a clip of it because I just think that it's perpetuating, the stereotype and the allegation. I just think it's stupid, and I don't think it's okay. And one of the things that we're going to get into the main story today is this weird kind of vibe that's happening within the Black community, where it's coming, when we see a lot of this Black conservatives and people who are like becoming Black Trump supported, because I have a lot of Black conservative friends, right? But they're not supporting Trump. They're not interested in Trump, and I think that there's, like I said before, there's a difference between being fiscally conservative, having conservative principles and values, being moderately conservative, whatever, and also being a Trump supporter. Those are two totally different spectrums, in my opinion. But I don't understand what's going on. She says that she claimed, this one she said, quote, she claimed that it is not racist when something is true and people are saying it online. Is it a known fact that it is a known fact that in Haitian culture that's what they do? Now that is not true. So that's racist. That is ignorance, and quite frankly, it's deplorable at this point. And I'm really disappointed in Amber Rose. I mean, I've already been disappointed. I was already over her ass, but I'm just really sick and tired of these cowtails, really going after just to get paid and get a buck. Like, you're selling your soul and your community. Look at what's happened to Stacey Dash. Do you want that to happen to you, girl? Because just as much as you're gonna sit there, we'll get into it. I'm not gonna go there. Don't add too many right. Her head is too big to be that done. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, but speaking of a queen, before we get into the main topic and discuss crackheads like Amber Rose, let's talk about a queen that has been just like dominating. This Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated royalty, this HBCU queen, this Black empress, this librarian that comes in and reads these ridiculous Republicans in the House for filth. Representative Jasmine Crockett. Okay? Take a look at her epic read and takedown this week. Okay? Check it out.
Texas.
Thank you so much. You know what? This hearing is actually the best example of what waste, fraud, and abuse looks like, because the only reason we're having this hearing is because somebody got their feelings hurt in a debate. And I don't understand why we're wasting taxpayer dollars. Next time, tell your big boy to show up and be ready to handle the woman in the room who hopefully will become the next president of the United States. Nevertheless, while we do have two amazing authors from Project 2025, which it seems like everybody got the memo. Like, yes, I'm going to double down and say it's my thing, but I'm going to make sure I also say that it ain't our homeboys thing, because we know that it doesn't poll very well with the American people, because the American people are woke enough to recognize that there is nothing good in it for them. So with that being said, Ms. Perryman, I'm just curious, and this is yes or no. Is Trump's name ever mentioned in Project 2025? Yes or no? Just yes or no. I got you.
Within the document itself,
yes.
There are a number of references to the former administration.
So is Trump's name mentioned just one time?
I believe it's mentioned more.
Okay. 5 times.
I haven't counted.
Oh, okay. Well, if I told you that his name is mentioned approximately 312 times, would you have any reason to dispute that?
I don't have any reason.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's interesting that we want to try to pretend. We're not going to pretend in here. We're going to work with facts and not fiction. So I also want to talk about inflation really quickly with you, Ms. Perryman, because we've talked about it a lot. I'm just curious to know, is the inflation that we just struggled through, was that global or was that limited to the United States?
Global.
Global. Seemingly, it was attached to this thing called the global pandemic. Is that correct?
That is my understanding.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just the United States.
No.
Okay, so it wasn't just a matter of the Biden-Harris administration and the United States is struggling, right?
I think the United States actually fared better than the rest of the world.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we are. Correct?
I think so, yeah.
All right, but inflation still hurts, and so that's why we have a candidate that has an actual plan instead of concepts of a plan, or
instead of concepts of a plan. You better read, girl. You better read. Give it up for Jasmine. Really, Representative Crockett, you are that girl. You are the antithesis of really, number one, being super hyper aware of what's going on in culture, what's going on in the politics, and also understanding how to narrowly and with class and with demure read these girls. Yes, she did that. She did that. She knocked out every single talking point and used one of the writers or used one of the people that is pro Project 2025 to do it. She's genius. She's genius, and she's underrated. So I just wanted to make sure we gave some flowers, because a lot of times we talk a lot about this drama and all this crap or whatever, and we don't really give our flowers to those that need and deserve it. So shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Now let's get into the main story, y'all, because there's a conversation that needs to happen. Y'all know we're in this election cycle. The 2024 elections are going to be really, really tough. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much energy is being thrown and raised up for Kamala Harris, we still have to be vigilant, diligent, and focused, right? And so, because this is going to be a close race. She has a lot stacked up against her, okay? But there's this kind of energy that is happening. Yeah, Joy Reid's doing it too. Joy Reid is doing it too, Kevin. That good one. Yes, we're gonna give her flowers too. Joy Reid is giving the girls the run, okay? But there is this energy that is happening amongst, and I'm noticing it within media a lot, whether it be within blogs or like the Shade Room or Hollywood Unlocked or the Neighborhood Talk, all of these blogs, things like that follow Black culture. There seems to be a lot of energy, and not even just that, also in mainstream news as well. There seems to be a lot of energy being towards like, oh, the Black voter is going towards Trump. Oh, Black Trump supporters. Oh, this, oh, that. And then we have people like this raccoon saying his crap. We have some people like her, which she's like, they're like little empress, right? That she is just doing. She's doing the Lord's work for them, right? Then we have people like, Diamond and Silk, or I think one of them passed away. I can't remember if it was Diamond or Silk. I can't remember. But we have those things, and then we had propaganda, and this is before Kamala Harris came into the race. But we had propaganda, which we now know has been found to be fake, that was being pushed out. Okay, AI generated stuff that was being passed out. Now, the Trump campaign said that they had nothing to do with it, that it was just like, people who were who were Trump supporters. But we know what's going on. We know that that was an attempt from the Trump campaign to kind of to sway and break up the black vote. Okay, all of these images are fake. They're not. He never visited these people. These people don't even exist. Okay, it's not even real. It's ridiculous. But the question then becomes, why is this happening? What is going on? You know what I'm saying? Why is those things happening? Okay, it's happening because one of the things and one of the little powers that Black people have is our voting block, is our financial, or really our spending. Not necessarily our buying power, but our spending power. We can move, and we've shifted companies, right? We've helped brands become powerful. We've helped brands become trending. We also move pop culture, right? And so there's certain things that we can do. But one of the most important things that we have is our voting block. There is not a president that has ever won without the help of Black votes. Now, I want to be very clear. The reason why Trump won in the 2016 elections is because people didn't show out. Okay, people didn't go out. People did not go. They thought that Hillary had it in the bag, so it wasn't even going to be a serious situation. But there's no president that has won without the Black vote. Okay? That is our buying power. That is our strength. That is one of the things that we have that really locks in us. And that is one of the things that I feel like the Trump campaign, smartly so, was trying to chip away at. Let's have these celebrities, these influencers, go out and try to get their influence and get their voting block and make them feel like they are that they are for me, okay? And that majority of the Black vote is this. That is not the case. Statistically, majority of the Black vote is actually still Democratic. Majority of the Black vote, majority of the buying power, or excuse me, the voting block is still Kamala based. You're hearing a lot of like, oh, Black men are shifting over to Trump, and yes, we have a contingency of Black men that are conservative, that are that have moved over to Trump. However, that is not the average. Okay. In addition to all of that, we're also talking about a situation where they tried to target Gen Z. We have people like Sukiana. We have people like what's it? Is it Ice Spice? We have people like all these other what's the dumb girl thing that's with Babyface? Krishan Rock. All of those people like were being targeted. Zeus Network people basically were targeted because and used to buy in to the whole Trump phenomenon. Okay. Kwame, what's going on with these Black men? I don't know, but I do think that it's a valid question, because one of the things that I think, and this is something that we've been talking about in political circles in TikTok, as well as just political circles that I'm affiliated with. One of the conversations that is happening, and I think one of the problems that the Democratic Party needed to tap into, and I think they're starting to. But there's a conversation that needs to happen because they're not seeing immediate work. They're getting tired, and something that Trump does well is that he knows how to talk and knows how to market to those who feel enraged. He knows how to tap into anger. One of the things that that Obama did and Kamala is doing now, which is really, really smart of her and her team, is that he tapped into hope. He tapped into something positive. And that's something that's universal, because no matter how much angry people are, no matter how much people can get, eventually that anger will dissipate. Eventually that anger, at least if you're emotionally intelligent enough, your anger will dissipate and you will move on and you'll grow. Of course, there's some people that like to hold on to grudges forever, and that's their problem. That's their thing that they sit in that, and those are the base of Trump and Trump supporters and MAGA. But for the most part, the average person, the average human, does not like to feel angry, does not like to be enraged for a long period of time because it's detrimental to their body physically, mentally, and spiritually. And so when you have someone that knows how to tap into that anger, it's good for the moment, but it's not long lasting. And we had a presidency with Trump where it was just nothing but anger and chaos. And people remember that. And so people are saying, and it's a great messaging when it comes to Kamala about we're not going back. We don't want to go back to all of that. We want to move forward. And a lot of people want to stay let me finish the rundown. A lot of people want to stay in this kind of like, I'm going to be angry all the time. I'm going to stay in this bubble. I'm going to do whatever. I'm still hurt. There are times, let me tell you something. Nobody's hearing you. And if they are, it's your little bubble of people who are constantly wanting to be angry. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to be in a constant state of bubble of anger the entire time. There is a level of hope. There's a level of progressiveness that people want to have. They want to move the needle forward. They want to move on. And you, as a person that are constantly wanting to be angry all the time, it's not helpful. It's not helpful to the messaging of the United States. It's not helpful to the messaging of hope and peace and what we stand on as the United States and what at least what we're supposed to stand on in the United States. It's not progressive and it's not helpful. And so what happens is that after a while, that messaging becomes stale and dull. After a while, you have to shift, you have to pivot, because after a while, you're going to get to a point where people are going to look at you like, girl, are you ever going to let it go? Or is it just going to be something you stick with it forever? That's the real sad part. That's what really is the sad part, when you're in a space where you wake up every day angry at somebody, you're waking up every day angry at the world, and you do nothing to move forward. You do nothing. You've been staying on the same topic and the same bandwidth and the same thing for however many years. That's sad. Now, do we have struggles as a culture? Absolutely. As a Black culture, we have systematic issues that are happening towards this country or in this country towards our people. Absolutely. But do we need to be in a space where we're constantly looking at, and doing something that is counterproductive to us? Absolutely not. It doesn't do any good. That's why therapy was pushed for a while. It's still now, so the mental health services, mental health is being pushed because there's a lot of issues, especially with our older generation of people. There are people who are going on their deathbed who don't know what happiness is because they're constantly holding on to grudges for years and years and things that have happened to them. There's generational curses, generational things that have happened, generational things that have strongholds and chains that need to be broken. And you can't break those things if you don't identify them, which is why it's important that we have therapists, Black therapists, more Black therapists, and people who are going into mental health services, people who are going into to really understand the mental fortitude and what that means. Does that mean that we don't believe in God? Does that mean that we don't focus on what God has for us? Absolutely not. Have your spiritual stronghold, have your spiritual needs, but at the same time, also understand that just like you go to a doctor for help, to find out how you feel and to find out what's wrong with you so you can become better and be in your healthiest state possible physically, you also have to do that mentally. And that doesn't mean that you have to actively have something going on with you at the time in order for you to go seek mental health services. But if you are constantly in a cycle of drama and you're allowing yourself to be in this constant pain where you have to constantly spew on people and constantly have an issue and you're constantly stuck, that's something you have to deal with, girl. Because it ain't going to do nothing but cause you pain. Because while everybody else is moving on with their life, and sipping on pina coladas and doing what they need to do and traveling and getting out the house and working out and eating healthy, you're sitting there, man. Why? So that is my opinion of why I feel like we're feeling like, and a lot of it honestly is also propaganda. A lot of it's propaganda on why black men are moving on. It's like the statistic of people saying, "Oh, black men don't take care of their kids." That is statistically untrue. That is not the case, actually. So when you look at the statistic and you look at the actual numbers instead of what people are telling you, do the research for yourself. Get to know people for yourself. Get to understand. We didn't know who Trump was when Hillary was going up against him. We knew who Hillary was. We knew who she was, who the lobbyist was with her, who she was in bed with. That's what we were going off of. And we're like, okay, well, she's a former Clinton. She's fine. She'll be okay. She knows what to do. She don't need my vote. I don't need to go out there. And look what happened. And so when now we know the type of evil that comes in there, because he's created a pattern. And he's created a legacy of this constant drama where it's like, oh, well, I'm going to do so, like, I'm going to go out here and go to all these rallies. And then you have moments of him, you know, where he's actually on script because his team is like, if you don't get on script, you're going to lose this. You're going to go to jail. So, of course, he has those moments when he's on script. But then because he naturally is a unhealed, unhinged person, he goes right back off of it. It's a cycle. So my vote is with Kamala. I'm sticking with her. I'm with her because I don't want to go back. I want to move on. How about you move on? We'll see how that goes for you. That's what I got for y'all today, y'all. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time, and I hope you had a good week. If you're watching this on a replay over the weekend, shout out to you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next on Monday, actually. But until then, I want to go out with this song here that I heard that I just think that it was just perfect, and it really surmises and summarizes how I'm feeling and what I think majority of people who are progressive want the right to feel or say, or what they want to say. But anyway, until then, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Throw some orange hearts in there, some fire signs, and I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to create a great day. Make sure you take some self-care, some time for yourself, and take a break. Love off sometimes, you know? All right, until then, stay blessed, stay stress-free, and stay peaced out.
If you don't shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, and sometimes I just wanna tell them, I wanna look in their eyes and tell them, I wanna say fuck you. Shut the fuck up. I wanna say, yeah. Fuck you.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.